Here the clouds settle below the summits, and the animals that live above them face thin air, sudden storms, and cold that lasts most of the year. This is a landscape stripped of cover. Ridges run bare against the sky. Open slopes fall away into snowfields, and the rock offers few places to disappear. In such country, the oldest contest becomes visible in the terrain itself. Whoever hunts can be seen, and whoever is hunted has almost nowhere to vanish. High above, a dark shape turns on a rising current of air, holding its height without effort. The advantage seems to belong to the sky. Far below, every animal on the pasture has to live with that shadow. In Hohe Tauern National Park, the high pastures do not hide much. Grass lies open between stones. Burrows mark the slopes like small dark mouths. Above them, the air itself is a hunting ground. A golden eagle rides a rising column of warm air without hurry. It barely moves its wings. The thermal is doing part of the work, lifting the bird high enough to read the slope below. From that height, movement matters. A head lifting, a body leaving cover. One young animal feeding too far from the nearest hole. The eagle is not chasing blindly. It is waiting for the pasture to make a mistake. Golden eagles hold large mountain territories and patrol open ground where movement is easiest to read. Across the Alps, the contest repeats in different forms. Meadow, broken slope, cliff, snowfield. What changes from one arena to the next is not the pressure from above. It is the answer the hunted are able to give. Below it, Alpine marmots feed in the short summer grass. Their bodies are built for cold, but their calendar is narrow. For as much as 6 months of the year they survive underground, sealed inside burrows while snow covers the meadow. Their heart rate can fall to only a few beats each minute. Their bodies live on nothing but the fat stored during the brief green season. That is why they feed so hard. Every mouthful is winter insurance. Every minute above ground is useful. But every minute above ground also puts them under the eagle. The young emerge into the same brief green season that fattens the adults. There is no second summer to fall back on, no slower path to winter. One marmot sits upright while the others graze. It is not wasting time. It is buying time for the colony. Alpine marmots give sharp alarm whistles when danger approaches, and the call comes fast across open grass. A whistle cuts through the grass. Bodies vanish. One marmot dives, then another. The alarm runs faster than the shadow. By the time the eagle drops lower, The slope that looked full of prey has become a field of empty burrow mouths. Here, the hunted answer first. Not with speed, not with strength, with warning. The eagle lifts again. A failed pass costs energy, but it does not end the hunt. It can drift to the next fold of ground, the next colony, the next slope where one animal may be late. The marmots pay differently. They have lost feeding time, and time is the resource this pasture never gives back. The system works because many animals respond at once. That is also its limit. Some feeding bodies are farther from a burrow than others. Fresh grass pulls them outward. Hunger keeps them there for one more mouthful. The eagle turns back over the ridge. This time the whistle fires across the colony and most of the slope disappears. One marmot reaches its burrow late, vanishing only after the shadow has already crossed the grass. The pass can be shown as pressure rather than a confirmed kill. A drop through open air, a scatter of bodies, a hunter rising again when the slope empties. The colony survives because warning works, but every alarm costs feeding time. The brief summer never returns. A common raven arrives soon after, reading the mountain in its own way. It does not trail the eagle across the sky. It remembers where kills tend to happen and reads the signs left behind. Sudden silence, disturbed grass, a hunter rising with weight in its feet. The raven is not the power in this arena, but it knows the leftovers of power. The eagle climbs away from the meadow. The green pasture falls beneath it. Ahead, the mountain hardens into cliff and broken rock, a place where air still matters, but footing matters more. Some prey answer the sky by listening together. Higher up, another animal answers by living where almost nothing can follow. At first light, the slope moves. A line of bodies crosses a field of loose stone, and the rock shifts beneath them, clattering downhill in small grey streams. They do not slow for it. Speed across bad ground is safety by itself. Chamois hold the broken country between the last trees and the bare crag. It is neither meadow nor cliff. Grass grows in scattered patches among the scree. Stunted pines thin out toward the rock and then stop. Here, cover is not a hiding place. It is a distance. How far a body stands from something solid and how fast it can reach it when the sky turns dangerous. The herd carries kids born earlier in the season, still learning the ground one crossing at a time. A grown chamois can move quickly over steep, broken ground, placing each hoof with the confidence of an animal shaped for cliffs. The kids do not have that yet. They have the instinct to follow and the legs to try, and the rest is learned in the open, where mistakes are expensive. And the ground does not forgive much. A run of loose stone ends at a band of bare rock, a narrow traverse with open air below and nothing to catch a fall. The same eagle that tested the meadow works this higher country now. It does not need to enter the scree. It needs only an animal caught in the open, far from the trees, slow to commit. One kid reaches the edge of the traverse and stops. The adults ahead do not wait. They move because the slope rewards movement, and because the safe line across bare rock is narrow and quickly gone. The kid watches the gap. Then it follows, hooves finding the small holds the older animals used, weight kept low against the stone. It reaches the far side and folds back into the herd. For this crossing, the hunted have the answer: sure feet, low balance, and a body built for broken rock. Then the weather turns. Cloud pours over the ridge and drops down the slope. The light flattens. The far trees blur, and then they are gone. Wind pushes across the open stone, and the herd, which had moved as a single line, begins to break apart. The adults press lower, toward rougher ground and broken cover. Most of the kids go with them. One does not. Cut off by the murk, it holds on open ground, uncertain which way the herd has gone. This is the gap the mountain looks for. Not weakness of body, but a moment alone in the wrong place. Above the cloud, the eagle still owns the air. A golden eagle hunts by stooping, folding into a dive that turns height into speed, and open stone offers a clean approach that the broken forest edge does not. No capture has to be shown for the stakes to be plain. The signs carry it: a herd massing near cover, a single small body out on bare rock, cloud thinning just enough to show the ridge again. Whether the lagging kid reaches the trees in time is decided by cover, not by open ground. The ones that gain the forest edge live inside its shelter until the weather lifts. The one that does not is left to the slope and the sky. A raven crosses the slope while the cloud still hangs low, calling once over the disturbed ground. It is not the hunter here. It is the watcher after the chase, drawn to places where the mountain has been unsettled. By the time the cloud clears, the herd has reformed lower down, pressed close beneath the last trees. The lesson is written into where they choose to stand. On this middle ground, survival is counted in steps to the nearest cover, and every kid that lasts the season has learned to count them. Elsewhere in the Alps, the trees end and the slope steepens into a wall of rock with no shelter of any kind. Some animals answer that country not by reaching cover, but by living where cover was never the point. In Gran Paradiso National Park, a different alpine wall carries the next answer. From below, it looks less like habitat than refusal. Rock stacked above rock, grey ledges broken by strips of grass, a slope too steep for most bodies to trust. Alpine ibex belong to that refusal. Adults pick their way along narrow shelves as if the drop below them were level ground. Among them, a kid only weeks old stands on a ledge that seems too thin to hold a life at all. That the ibex are here at all is a second chance. A century and more ago, hunting drove the Alpine ibex to the edge of extinction, until only a small remnant clung on in these mountains. Every animal on this wall descends from that narrow survival. The cliff that shelters them now once counted for nothing against a rifle, and the herd exists today because the killing stopped in time. The arms race changes here. In the meadow, the sky held the advantage. On the cliff, the hunted have moved the contest onto ground where their own bodies have special advantages. A golden eagle can still cross the air above the wall, and young ibex are not beyond danger. But an adult ibex on steep rock has a different defense. Hooves built to grip uneven stone, and a life spent on ledges where one wrong step matters as much as any predator. The ibex have not escaped danger. They have chosen a danger that suits their bodies better. The kid reaches its first real crossing, a break in the ledge, a step of exposed stone, open air beneath it. It hesitates. The adults ahead do not stop for long. They move because the wall demands movement, and because food grows in small places that cannot be reached by waiting. One hoof tests the rock, then another. The outer rim catches, the softer pad grips. Split toes spread around uneven stone. The kid shifts its weight and commits. The answer here is not a warning call. The ledge that looked impossible becomes a road, and the kid reaches the far side alive. But the wall does not protect for free. Cloud climbs the face and settles. Dry rock darkens. A surface that held like a floor begins to lie. The same hoof that found purchase in sun can slide on wet stone, and the fall beneath the ledge has not moved. The eagle is not the only test here. Gravity has been waiting longer than any predator. An adult catches a slip almost before it becomes one, dropping weight into a second hold. The kid has less margin. Each crossing is a lesson written with no safe classroom around it. The cliff keeps many hunters out, but it keeps none of its residents from paying attention. The same wall that protects the herd also limits it. Grass grows in small pockets, not in wide fields. A feeding animal has to move from shelf to shelf, choosing each step before it lowers its weight. The hard rim of the hoof finds an edge. The softer pad holds against uneven stone. That grip is not decoration. It is the difference between a ledge becoming a path and a ledge becoming a fall. On this rock, the hunted do not disappear. They make danger narrow enough to stand on. By evening, the herd works higher, where the ledge is thin and the plants become scarce. Below them, the meadow is already distant. Above them, the mountain offers less cover and less food, until the contest has to leave rock behind and move on to snow. There, small animals will try a different answer. Not height, not alarm, but disappearance. Higher still, the plants give out and the snow takes over. The slope becomes a single white field, broken only by wind-scoured rock and the blue shadow of drifts. From the air it looks empty. It is not. A shape crouches on the open snow, so white that the eye slides past it. Only when it shifts does the outline resolve. Ears laid flat, dark eyes, a body pressed near the surface. A mountain hare, wearing its winter coat, has made itself part of the field. Its white coat is camouflage against snow, but every defense has a breaking point when movement or bare ground gives the body away. This is the smallest prey's answer to a world without cover. Not height, not alarm, not sure feet on rock. Disappearance. Against unbroken snow, a still white body is close to invisible, and a hunter searching from above can pass over what lies in open view. But the field holds fewer empty places than it seems. A stoat runs the white surface in a low ripple of movement, its winter coat the same white as the snow, but for a black tip on the tail. It is small enough to be prey itself, and small enough to use the hidden edges of winter that a large hunter cannot enter. Beneath the snow, in the narrow space between the frozen surface and the ground, the mountain keeps a hidden economy running through the coldest months. Small mammals can move there in tunnels, feeding on buried plants, sheltered from the wind and from the sky. The stoat works the snow edge with its nose, disappearing into holes and reappearing through breaks in the crust. What happens in the dark below stays there, beyond any camera. What the surface shows is enough. A small hunter using doors the eagle cannot open. It does not rest for long. A hunter this small has to feed often through the winter, crossing between the sheltered world below the snow and the open surface above. The hare, meanwhile, has been seen, not by the stoat, which the hare dwarfs, but by the pressure that never leaves this slope. A shape crosses the sky. The hare's stillness, which hid it so well, becomes a gamble with a deadline. To stay is to trust the snow. To run is to write movement across the open field. It runs. The sprint is explosive, all hindquarters and thrown snow, angling for a jumble of rock and wind-carved drift where the line of sight breaks. For a few seconds, the outcome hangs on speed and distance. Then the hare reaches the broken ground and folds into it, and the white field closes over the shape of an animal once more. The escape holds, this time because the snow was there to vanish into. That is the quiet condition beneath all of it. The hare's coat, the stoat's coat, the whole white economy work because the field is white. The defense is not the animal alone. It is the animal matched to the season around it, and that match holds only while the snow does. Nearby, half buried in the same field, another white shape marks the snow. A rock ptarmigan, feathered to the toes, carries the same broad answer as the hare. Match the ground, reduce the outline, and make a body harder to find. On unbroken snow, white plumage can turn open exposure into cover. For now, the surface belongs to those who can disappear into it, and the space below belongs to the one hunter small enough to follow life underground. The eagle's arena ends where the snow begins, but the snow keeps deepening. Higher up, toward the top of the mountain, even the buried economy thins to nothing, and the field gives way to bare tundra where the wind never rests. There, at the habitable ceiling, one bird stakes everything on concealment as the last defense of all. Above the snowfields, the mountain runs out of everything but rock, wind, and cold. This is the summit tundra, the habitable ceiling, a plateau of shattered stone and thin snow where the growing season is measured in weeks and the wind never fully drops. Nothing hunts here that does not have to. Almost nothing lives here at all. Almost. A rock ptarmigan works the frozen ground at the very top of the ladder, picking at the few buds and shoots that hold on between the stones. It lives high on the mountain, and it has staked much of its winter survival on a single defense. It cannot outclimb a hunter the way the ibex does. It cannot pass a warning down a colony the way the marmot does. It has only concealment, a body that changes with the season to match whatever the ground has become. In this thin country, that is the last card left to play. Then the sky changes. A front builds along the ridge and begins to move, a wall of white rolling up the slope, swallowing the horizon as it comes. Wind arrives ahead of it. The light drains out of the plateau. Within minutes, a view that reached for miles has shrunk to a few meters of stinging snow, and the ptarmigan stands directly in its path. In bad weather, the bird keeps close to the surface, using its feathered feet and white plumage against the broken snow. The storm reduces the world to movement and shape. A body that matches the ground is harder to separate from all the other white forms the wind is building. This is the answer at the top of the arms race, and it is quieter than any chase. The advantage the whole mountain has been trading, the eagle's height, the marmot's warning, the ibex's rock, the hare's white coat, narrows here to a single bird pressed into the snow, waiting out a storm it has no way to fight. The question the mountain keeps asking finds its edge on this plateau. Life does not run out because a hunter finally wins. It runs out because the ground itself gives up, because above a certain line there is not enough warmth, food, or time for anything to keep its grip. The hunted have not been beaten here. They have reached the place where the mountain simply stops offering a living. Then, slowly, the front passes. The wind eases. The white wall moves on down the far slope, and the plateau returns. The same shattered stone, the same thin snow, the horizon opening out again. From the flattened snow, a shape stirs. The ptarmigan bursts upward in a hard flush, shakes the snow from its feathers, and drops down a short way off to feed again, as though the storm had been only a held breath. It has held the ceiling for one more day. A single dark shape crosses the ridge above it. A raven rides the clearing air and reads the plateau below. The buried and the emerged, the ground the storm has rearranged. Even here, high on the mountain, what the weather leaves behind does not go unwatched. But the raven's eye reaches farther than the summit. From the ridge, the whole ladder falls away beneath it. The snowfields, the cliffs, the broken slopes, the green pasture far down at the base. And every band on that ladder is turning toward the same thing at once. The season is closing over all of it. The defenses that held band by band were never really answers to one another. They were answers to a winter that has always set the terms. The question now is whether that winter still keeps its own. A white hare crouches on brown ground. For a moment, it does exactly what its body has taught it to do. It stays still. It trusts the old bargain between fur and snow, between winter and concealment. But the snow is gone from this patch of slope, and the hare has become visible because the mountain changed around it. This is the final turn in the arms race. All through the high country, the advantage shifted with the arena, each animal matched to the ground beneath it. Every one of those defenses worked only because the season held its side of the bargain. Now that bargain is less certain. When snow arrives late, melts early, or breaks into patches, white animals can be exposed against dark ground. The mountain hare's stillness no longer hides it. The rock ptarmigan's winter plumage, so effective on an unbroken white slope, can turn into a signal on brown grass and stone. The hare waits. It has few choices. Running may save it if cover is close, but running also writes movement across the open slope. Staying may make it vanish if the next patch is snow, but here, on bare ground, staying gives the sky time to notice. Above the ridge, a golden eagle turns into the wind. Nothing has to be caught for the mismatch to matter. The image alone says it. A white body on dark ground, a hunter built to read movement, and a disguise that has come apart. A rock ptarmigan faces a similar test. In full snow, it can crouch and almost disappear. On broken ground, the same white feathers separate from the slope. The bird can burst from cover in a hard flush, wings beating into the cold air. But flushing gives away the very position its plumage was built to hide. The predators gain, but not in a simple way. A golden eagle may see more. A stoat may hunt through broken cover where snow no longer seals the surface. Ravens may find the aftermath sooner. For a short time, the hunters seem to inherit the mismatch. But a system built on mismatch is not stable. If prey lose the defenses that kept the contest balanced, predators do not inherit a stronger mountain. They inherit a less predictable one. That is the answer waiting above the clouds. The advantage never belonged permanently to the hunter or to the hunted. It belonged to timing, to snow that arrives when a white coat needs it, and ground that stays the color an animal has become. Every animal here survives by matching a body to a season. When the season shifts, the match begins to fail. The change does not need to erase winter all at once. A few open patches are enough. A slope can be white in the hollows and brown on the ribs. A hare can vanish for 3 strides and stand exposed on the 4th. A ptarmigan can match one drift and cross a strip of bare stone like a signal. The old defenses still exist, but they arrive in pieces, and predators read the seams between them. A hare breaks from the brown patch and reaches a rib of snow. For 1 second it disappears again, not because the world is safe, but because the old rule still exists in fragments. Above it, the eagle keeps turning. The mountain has not chosen a winner. It has changed the question. And on the ridge, where cloud settles below the summits, the first flakes cross bare stone, too few to cover anything yet. For now, the snow still comes. It settles over the high pastures and the scree, over the ledges and the white fields, filling the hollows where the mountain's animals wait it out. Each of them is matched to a winter its kind has known for a very long time. Whether that match still holds through the winters ahead is not something the mountain settles in a single season. High on the ridge, cloud lowers again below the summits, and a golden eagle turns on the rising air, holding its height above a slope going slowly white.